Guys, how are you all doing? You're welcome to the continuation of the last video that we did, which is the part one of the creation of an express entry profile, the application of permanent residence on IRCC. Just an overview of what we did last time. You remember that we had to start by creating a GC key, and after that what we did was that we checked for eligibility, and after that we got to where we are right now. If you look at the video, you will see that one of the last place that we ended the video was in this particular page. So I just don't want to make this video so long. I just want to make it as short as possible. That's why I just came directly to the page. I've already signed in. We already have our profile. We already have our GC key and everything, a password. And you remember, this place is where you view the application you submitted. So in other words, you have a place here where you still continue your application. Remember, I told you that you have 60 days after the creation of this, after you get your GC key. You have 60 days, and this is to tell you that we did this about 8 days ago. And that's why we have 52 days left. So this is an express entry, and remember, this is for permanent residents to migrate to Canada from any part of the world that you are or you find yourself at. And so what you're seeing here is, it says continue an application you have submitted. This is express entry with the type of application. The date created was the 7th of October. Then this is the number of days remaining, so you have plenty of time to I'd like to tell people to take your time. 1 month, 30 days, it's okay to get this thing done. Some people do it just in 2 days, and it depends. And this is the last day save. That's the last day is October 16th and 2023. So what you see here is the action you're going to take. So it's either you click this continue profile or you delete profile. So where we're heading to now is continue profile. So we need to continue. And before we go to this next page, I'd like to tell you that I already filled this form. I already filled everything. The last time, if you go to the last video, the part one of this video, what you're going to say is, you're going to say that everything was not completed. It was red, color red, was not completed. But right now, when I press continue, all you're going to say is completed. And I did it so that we can be very fast. I'm just going to run you through this whole thing very quickly. Now let's go there. Express entry profile. This is where the last time we opened, like I said, this is my wife's page, and this is my wife profile, and this is mine, because she's the main applicant. The main applicant comes first and the spouse comes second. They don't usually ask lots from the spouse, but the main applicant has a lot of bulky things to submit, details to submit. So I'm just going to go to update form. So when you come to this page, the first thing you start updating the form, you go to your personal details. The first thing you see first is this is gonna turn white. So the first name, Chinelo. Last name is this is self-explanatory. Tell us Chinelo's exact name as it shows on the passport. Do not make mistake. Now, if you have issues, you can click here and to seek for help. I don't want to click it. It's popping up, but let me see. If you want to change any information in a lock field, you must return to the application summary. So, but if you click on this one, it's going to see, this is where it's going to take you to. So it's just going to give you some kind of guideline, but I'm going to go back to it. So Maduka, your first name. Now, if you have a middle name, you put your middle name here too, just as it's showing in your passport. So if your name is Chinelo, OKK Maduka, you just put Chinelo Maduka here as your surname, and then name Chinelo KK or Chinelo Blessing, Chinelo whatever you want to put there, according to your passport. Then you go to next. Try to click this next, and then you come to what you come to tell us. This is still tell us about your personal exact personal details as it shows on your passport. Now you're going to tell them your gender. Make sure that you have exactly how it is written, have it written here exactly how it is in your passport. You write this, you write this, you write this. Your date of birth, very self-explanatory. The country of birth, you write it. The city of birth, all these things are just copy and paste from a passport, so we don't need too much stay here. Then you go to the next one. It takes you to the next one. What is your marital status? Remember that my wife's spouse is like my wife here. She already mentioned in the beginning that she's married, and then she just have to click married. Just and then that's it here. You go to the next one, and this is just the passport. This is they want to get the information on of your passport or whatever ID you have. But it is very, very important that it's recommended that you use your passport. So does Chidi Maduka have a passport or a national ID? Yes. Document type. Please select. This place is empty, but when it comes here, you click this box. You click passport. I'll tell you why it's empty, because something is already down here. If you go down here, you'll see the details here. So whenever you put anything here, it when you're done, when you save an art, it comes down here. So I'm just going to take you through this again. And your document number. Now I'll show you something, but the document number, that's the passport number. That's what you need to write here. The country or territory of issue is written in the passport. You write it here. Now there used to be some kind of controversy when it comes to this part sometimes, because when we filled our passport, when we filled our ours, there was little confusion as to this particular question, country or territory of issue. So we received our passports in Abu Dhabi, Embassy of Nigeria in Abu Dhabi. So it's written there Abu Dhabi, but you cannot say Abu Dhabi because you're not from there. It is the Embassy of Nigeria that issued that to you. So this place is always, you're where you're actually from, Nigeria, or if you're from Cameroon, if you're from Ghana, wherever you're from, just write it there, regardless of where it is being issued. Yeah. So the next part is issue dates, the expiry dates, and then when you click on save here, you'll have the whole thing pop out here. So an example is here. Let me show you the example. So if you look, this is just a sample, and then this is the passport number, the country of origin. So just to let you know what you need to do. So this is from Nigeria. This is a Nigerian passport, and you just have to make sure that you're correct, verify what you've filled, and that's it. And then you go to next. It takes you to the immigration history and citizenship. Tell us about Chinelo's previous application to Canada, and they'll just ask you some questions. Country of citizenship, they want to know more about you here. So you just ask Chinelo applied to immigration before. If you have done it before, click yes. If you've not done it before, no. So you just, it's either yes or no. Country of territory, a country of citizenship. If you have citizenship in different countries, just list them out here and insert another. This is because we're only from Nigeria, they just have to leave it only in Nigeria. If you're from other country, say you're from United Kingdom or United States, you insert another row, and then click on the country. But if you don't want it, you just go there, delete the row, and it remains only the country where then your country of residence. As at the time we did this, we were residing in Abu Dhabi, so we clicked Abu Dhabi. So you're going to mention where you are residing at the moment, and most likely the place where you're going to be applying this from, and then you click next. The next thing here is we need to know some information about Chinelo's Maduka's family. How many family members? So this is inclusive of you. So if you have your husband and 3 kids, that means you're 5. If say, let me say 3 here. That means we have only one kid, my wife and I, a child. So, and that's 3. You remember during when we were doing our eligibility, we mentioned something. Always take note, whatever you put down there in during the eligibility stage is around that same figure should be what you're going to put. So you already mentioned before that you're going to be bringing a $25,000 to Canada, and make sure that is what you have in your account. If you don't have up to that, you can build it up immediately and just let that be breathing in your account, because you're going to be showing that when you come. So write that figure down, but make sure it aligns with the updated amount that is required for the number of families you put down here, like we mentioned in the previous video. And then after that, you go to next. Now, this point here, this particular question, we need to know whether we have relatives in Canada. Either that's the main applicant. If you do have relatives, it will ask you if you have relative who is citizen or a permanent resident of Canada. Note that the relative must be 18 or years or older, living in Canada. If you have, yes, that's a very good point for you. If you do, you have some point there, but if you don't, you click no, and then you do what? You save and exit. So when you save and exit, this place becomes green. You go to the next one, the contact details, and when you get to the contact details, it pops up. You click on it. So you just go quickly fill up what it wants here. It's a language of correspondence. This means what language you want IRCC to be sending information to you. So you click English. If you're a French speaker, you click French. You go to next, and they provide an email below where correspondence can be sent. Correspondence will be sent to your account. However, we may need to send correspondence by email. Indicating an email address will authorize correspondence, including file. Please make sure you have the right email here, well spelled. Verify, and then you save and exit. Then now we've finished the personal details. We've updated that one. We've updated the contact details. Now we're going to study and language, and you will come up here. You click on that, and it pops up. It comes up with education history first. Then we say we will assess Chinelo Maduka Secondary School. It's going to get white just trying to boot. The network is not very pleasant here. So what you do here is just go through this, and you fill this. It said, as Chinelo Maduka finish high school or any high school, including a university? The answer is yes. You click yes. Field of study, you're just going to write it. Now this place, if you see now, it's empty because there is a save and add here. So we're just going to see field of study, business management. That's what she filled here. You just click what is related to your field, what you study. Remember that you already have your West evaluation or any other organization that would have evaluated your educational credentials. West is what is very popular, and I'm going to be showing you a sample of West evaluation report here. And then after clicking on it, we already have one here. Since what year? See the year you started. You click on the year that you started the education. Maybe it's 2024. I'm sorry, 2009. You click on 2009, and the months you started. Just make sure you get the right thing from your transcript. This is my current study. If this is your current study, you click yes. If it is not, no. Complete full academic. The number of years you spend in school. If it's 3 years, you put down 3 years. 4 years, you put down 4 years. So the next one is full-time or part-time. Is full-time, you put part-time, you put it there. Make sure you're very sincere about these things, because they are highly verifiable. Standing at the end of your study. So are you in good standing but no certificate or diploma, degree awarded? So certificate or degree, diploma or degree awarded and not completed. So usually you will always go for these certificates, because you've already evaluated your results. The next thing here is the city or town of study. That's going to show in your transcript. You put that down. Name of school is even going to show on your West report. Name of school and institution, put down the year, and then level of education. If it is now this level of education, you don't just write anything you feel like writing here. Now you need to go to West. I'm going to bring out a West listen, I don't know if that thing is going to show. So the West is going to tell you the equivalency of your education in Canada. That's exactly what you're going to put down here. If West say your education is equivalent to master's degree, then you put it. But remember, the higher you go, the more the points. If West says that, or the organization you says it's a 2 year, it's equivalent to 2 year program, that's exactly what you're going to put down there. I'm going in a minute. I'm just going to pop up West report. But let me just answer. It was Chinelo Maduka awarded a Canadian. Usually, if you are, very good for you, because you'll be having very good point. But if not, say no, and then you save and add. Then you see all this thing pop out here, and that is anytime you can come back. You want to modify. If you find out that you made a mistake, you can come back, modify, and you click next to this one. But before we go to next, let me bring up a sample of West. This is how West evaluation look like. This is where the Canadian equivalent summary. So bachelor's degree, 3 years, and that's what they will tell you. Then you can now go there. Now we get to a point where we'll write this number, reference number. I'm going to bring this up again, but I just wanted to show you this particular bachelor's degree, the Canadian equivalent. This is how it's going to be. Okay. Then when you're done, you click next. Then you go to, we're down to official. We're done with educational history, and we are here with official languages. So this is where you come in with your IELTS result. So section 1 says knowledge of official language. Canada's official languages are English and French. Can Chinelo Maduka communicate in English? Remember, if you're a French speaker and you can an English speaker at the same time, and you can write it 2 exam, please write the exam, because this writing of these 2 exam will give you very high score. The combination of both of them will give you high score. But for us, English, we can't speak French and we cannot write French. So the next question is, has Chinelo taken an approved, have you taken a test, an approved one? IELTS is one of the tests. If you write yes here, yeah, then you go to the next one. Tell them the type of test you take. So the 2 tests that are applicable and approved by IRCC is IELTS and CELPIP. So we choose IELTS, and then remember there are 2 types of IELTS. There's the academic one and the general training. The academic one is for studies, and it's not applicable to, and it's not valid for migration. So what you have here is IELTS general training, and then when you put that down here, you come here and say the date of a language. This is on the certificate you've collected. So you put the date here. I'm going to show you a sample of that. Put the date, put date of test result. Do not make mistake. Put language test result form or certificate number. I'm going to show you this in a jiffy, and then put the score as it is written on the certificate. And then, has Chinelo Maduka taken an approved language test to access their French skills? Nope. And before I'm going to save and continue and exit from here, I'm going to show you a sample of IELTS. Now this is IELTS. Make sure you see general training here. In fact, before you do it, you let them know 2 of them are both different, and you see the dates here. Now look at this arrow here down here. This is the test report form number. Very important. Do not make mistake. Verify this plenty times before you submit. Now look at the score here, and then you put the score there, and and that's it. And then after you're done here, you save and continue. So if you have all this with this video, you can prepare yourself and get all this information in place, and then you can just submit your form in fill this whole thing up in 1 day and submit. So far so good. We are done with personal details, contact details, study and languages, and then we're going to application details. You come up here for application details and fill it up. Remember, when you if you are not done with any of the section, with any of the items there, I tell you, you will not see a green mark there. But the thing is that you can move from one form to another, and feel what you can feel. So it doesn't mean that you have to wait till you feel once. This is about the province and the territories of interest. So for as usually I would advise that you just click all provinces and territories, and then this is for British Columbia. I authorize the British Columbia Ministry of Jobs, Tourism, Trainings, Tourism and Skill Training to collect from immigration, refugees, and and Citizenship Canada IRCC of all the information contained in my express entries. There's no big deal here, just authorize it. And this is for Ontario, almost the same thing. Ontario wants to go into your express entry profile, look for maybe if they need something, they need a particular group of people, they can go in there and take some kind of skills that they want, and then nominate them immediately. So you click yes, don't click no. I wouldn't recommend you click no, click yes for both of them, and then go to next. And the next thing is nomination. So I'm going to be doing a video for provision nominee after this whole video. So has Chinelo Maduka receive a nomination certificate from any province? Nope. Let me tell you something. If you have a nomination, you automatically have 600 points. The next draw you'll be called in. So save and exit. So just click right now if you don't. If you have, very good for you. The next one is representative. This is so very simple and short. If you have a representative representing you, so I just don't want you just go through it. This is just a straight no. We don't have, you're doing it yourself. You don't have an agent, you don't have a lawyer, you don't have any person doing this for you. So you're doing it yourself and you're not giving permission to any person. So click no, save and exit, and automatically this place will become green. And then when it comes to work history, now this is the point where you need to know your primary occupation. Now the occupation that you're going for, you need to know your 5 digits NOC code. Now if you want to find it, you click on this place. I've shown you in one of the videos, and the link was there in the past video, so you can go to that video or part 1 on the channel and just look at that video. It will help you, guide you as to what to do. Find your NOC. This is the NOC code for advertising and marketing and public relation manager, and then you put in here. Most of the job are actually in demand. Now if you have a job that is in demand, that's another thing, another video for another time. We'll talk about it. I just don't want to let this video get so long. It's going already, it's going so far already. So the next point here is date Chinelo Maduka first became qualified to practice in this occupation. Right, so now this is the date you finish. Usually the dates you become qualified to do this, the dates you finish the trade in school or in a trade center, or things like that. The date you finish that's when you become qualified to do this job. That's what you're going to write here, and then you go for next. The next one is, does Chinelo Maduka have a certificate of qualification from a Canadian province or territory? Nope. You're just gonna select no. But if you have a certificate of qualification from Canada, very good for you, for it's going to give you very good points. So you click on next. It goes, does Chinelo Maduka have a job offer in Canada? Look at the conditions of a job offer here. So if you don't meet this condition, just write no. If you do meet this, you can write yes. So for this is no. If you have job offer and it's going to speed up the whole process for you. You're going to get the whole your points first of all will go high, will increase, and then you're going to get your application processed very quickly. Click next to work history. Now work history, this is where you now feel, now if you have 80 years of experience, please you've got to be very careful here. The reason why I say you should be very careful is that I would recommend that you have your letter of employment. Okay, so does Chinelo have a work history? Yes. Since what year? You write the number of years. Note that this place is empty because it's written here. So depending on if you finish the first one, you're going to write the second one. You keep writing till you write all the number of years that you've done. So far so good. So this is just very straightforward. Since what year? If this is since what year means when you started the job. If this is your current job, you click this. Otherwise, you go to the next. You just put an end date here. Hours worked per week. Most time 8 hours is usually the standard time. So if you're working anything below that, well, not recommended, but try as much. 8 hours, 10 hours, people do 12 hours sometimes. Write that here for that work, because all these things is going to be in the letter of employment that's going to be issued to you by your company and signed by your supervisor or your HR or whatever personnel that has the authority to do that in your company where you've worked in the previous days or years. And this is the 5-digit NOC. Remember that we talked about it. Make sure you choose it, and I'd advise that you have the same NOC of all the jobs that you're filling down there, because jumping from one different job to another, it happens, but it should be in related somehow. If that's the recommendation. It should be related somehow, though it doesn't make any difference, but just for you to know. And the job title, the employer's name, don't make mistake. Territory, which country is that? If it's self-employed, it's a different case altogether. Country, then city of town where the job is. So if you're done with it, this is going to pop out here. So when you have multiple jobs, it keeps piling up until you finish your job. When you're done, you click on next. If this is just a research question, it's not, if you read it, I just don't want to go through it. You go straight to some jobs are regulated. This is where I tell you that they're licensed job in Canada. So they will ask you if the job you mentioned above here in this work history is actually regulated. Now if you don't know, we just click we don't know here, but you should know. If you don't know, go and find out. Go through the NOC link that is in the bio down in the in the bio here, and then look out for it. Check it out. Something like doctors, all those ones, and medical fees, most of them are licensed. They are regulated. Engineers, they are regulated. So if it's regulated, you write yes. If it's not, mine was not regulated, so I just clicked on no. And then you save and continue. So we are done with all this right now. We are almost done. So we just go next to the next thing you're going to do is to go to your spouse now. And this is your spousal information, your personal detail. So I'm not going to waste my time here because we've done the same thing. Will this person be then this question is very important. Will this person accompany you to Canada? Yeah. So well, if this person, your spouse, is coming with you to Canada, click yes. If not, click no. Please, if you have a question related to these things that I'm mentioning here, ensure that you write them down in the comment section. So this is the name of the spouse. You click next, and then the next one, you fill the age. I think this one's already fixed because we already fixed them before. Country of birth and city in town. Click on next. It's very, very straightforward. Is Emmanuel, that's your spouse, is a permanent resident or a citizen of Canada? Now if this is yes, this is a very good point for you. Things will be very speed up for you. So no, you click no and then go to next. And we need to know some of your information about Emmanuel, Maduka's family. So does Emmanuel Maduka have a relative who is a citizen or permanent resident in Canada who is above 18 years? If yes, very good. If no, well, it doesn't It makes difference though if it's yes. So so no, it's not a big deal. You will still get there. Just don't give up. Then after you're done with that first one, you save and exit, and then you see a green mark here just as it is. Now you go for studies and languages, which is the same thing. I don't need to take you through this because it's just a repetition of what we said the other time. So the same thing will pop up. I'm going to go for next. The same thing for IELTS that we talked about before. This is just a repetition of this whole thing, your language test and all those things. And at the end of it all, no French skills. Then you save and good to go. You go to for work history. You're gonna repeat the same thing you did for work history and for yourself. You know, same thing. When you come here, it will show. So if your husband too or your wife have multiple job experience, just list them out here and it will pop down below here as long as you're saving and adding, and then you save and exit. So once you're done with all these things, make sure all these things are green. This is just like a checklist that will help you know. Of course, you cannot continue except all these things are green. So for the fact that all these things are green, it means that you're done. Bear in mind that you can always come back here to modify things, and I'm going to submit it. Watch it. Let's see. When you click on continue, it's going to take us to a declaration page. This is the page that's going to show, and this is your declaration and electronic signature. This is where you're going to be declaring some things. You go through it: Privacy Act, Protection Act. You've got to select I agree here, otherwise it will not go forward. You then agree, not a big deal, agree. Up to you if you don't feel like agreeing. I'm just only recommending. You can always click I do not agree, and when you come here, you now write the given names that you've already written before. So if you've written Chinelo, your surname, that's going to be Yemaduka. This is your signature. I agree that by submitting this application, I am electronically signing the application. So after you finish writing your name, if you have a middle name, you put the middle name after this, but if you don't have, just leave it that way. Then you now they will definitely ask you one question here of one of your questions. See, it's the question that you already know. So you write your question here and then submit. Let me type it in. Okay, I remember I used this. Yeah. So sign, signature, privacy notice. So now this is the next page it will take you to after signature. So look at it. It's still privacy notice. Go through it and please select the required I agree. Now agree is already selected. Now consent for use. It's just showing you the same thing. The same whole thing that you've already signed. Sorry, as I thought it was a new page. It's just the same thing. And then after that, this is how it's going to show. I, Chinelo Maduka. If you have a middle name and you've already imputed written down your middle name, so I, Chinelo Okeke Maduka or something like that, it will just solemnly declare that this information I have provided is true, and the document I am submitting it in support of my application are genuine and have not been altered in any way. And then you transmit. This is the final thing you do. And when you transmit, this is congratulations, you have successfully submitted your applications or profile. But now you can exit questionnaire. Then when you exit questionnaire, so I want to take us back to our front page, and okay, now you if you're saying, if you've noticed now, you'll see that we are no longer continuing application. We are done with the application. Now look at your application number here. This is your express entry. This is now where you view your application status. Now you have your express entry profile type of application. The next one is the application number. The next one is the name. The next one is the date you submitted. So this is how this page is going to be. Now when the current status change, maybe you've been invited to apply, this place will change. So when you come every time, you try as much as possible to be checking your status. You come here, you check your full application status. Now you see that we regret to inform you that you're no longer eligible. Now the reason why this has happened is because the dummy profile page. Well, this is how you would see the page. So if you've done the right thing, because this is a dummy, if you've done the right thing, this is what you're going to say, and you'll see that you'll see your number, your profile number, this unique client identifier number will be here, and the date you submitted your profile, your biometric number. You've not done your biometric yet, so this place will be empty. So you go down here, you read all what is here. Now at the time you get this done, most time you will see, based on what I did, you will see met. Then the rest, most time they're not met because you don't have a nominee yet, which is the next video I'm going to be doing. Canadian class experience is actually for those who are in Canada, temporary residents who have work experience in Canada and then they want to go through that process, and then this one too is in Canada for federal skill trades, and then you will see your overall score here. So, and the breakdown of your score is what you're going to see here, and yeah, and then you get to see your messages. Make sure you check your mailbox every time. Open this from time to time to check it. Don't withdraw the profile. You check your full application status. So having said all this, the next one is a provision nominee. So that is it. I would highly recommend that you subscribe, you like the video, share the video. For those of you going to agents are it's very expensive. I mean, you can do it yourself. All you need is just good network and constant visits to this web page. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video.
I'm in the pub with the bros, lighting up something that goes. Nothing is froze, but when I put the kettle on, it's a number that nobody knows. I stay off the road.